Welcome to Mujeres Unscripted, where we amplify the voices of women through unique stories and shared identities. We're Christina
and Renee,
and each week we dive into candid conversations about culture, career, and personal growth.
Join us as we celebrate the strength and resilience that connects us all. This
is
Mujeres Unscripted.
Hello everyone, this is Christina and welcome to episode number 3.
Hey everybody, it's Renee, and yes, we are episode number 3.
We're moving forward. More views, more everything. Awesome, guys. So I did go ahead and create a Facebook group.
Woo-hoo. I'm going to start putting the link and stuff at the bottom of these episodes. Nice. So you can go ahead and click on it if you haven't joined yet. But we have 22 people already in the group.
What? Let's grow this.
Telling you. So I'm going to give y'all special shout outs because you were the first ones that go ahead and clicked on that link after we invited you. So we appreciate you, Heaven, Gabriel, Laura, Carmen, Ephraim, Nancy, Julian, Carla, Maritza, Nicole, Rosie, Nettie, Naida, Leila, Isai, Trish. I know it's a long list.
It's good.
I love it.
Keep going.
Trish, Sonia, Nicole McWilliams, Vanessa, Monica, and Dana.
Hey,
so, yeah.
Thank you, everybody. And me.
And you. Yes, and you.
I joined as well. Of course. But no, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Man, you've been on top of it.
I'm
Renee.
trying.
You are. I know you are.
Thank you.
We're working on this.
And just from the last episode, my students really
they came through for you.
They came through for me.
I tell you.
It was awesome. So I'm a dork that way, and I made me, I have a button maker, and I made me a button with my QR code for my Cash App.
Nice.
I actually, once I counted everything between the Cash App and the cash the kids gave me, it was like $40.
Man, see, they might be rough around the edges.
But yeah.
But they're sweethearts.
And then, I got my Dr. Peppers and my Reese's and pens. I'm a fanatic.
She's a fan.
Okay, love them. The reason my backpack I take to work is so heavy is because I have like 10 packs of pens or 10 pencil cases of pens in there. Yeah, not because
I'm a little obsessed with pens too, but I think that's part being a
teacher.
Yeah.
So I did. I got a lot of love from
nice.
The students, and I was figuring this out last year. When I taught elementary school, it was the parents, but now in high school, these kids use their own money to buy you these gifts. Yeah. So I feel more grateful because I know they took the time out of their day and their money to give me my nerves.
No, Renee, what you said was they took the time.
Yeah.
They took the time away from their phone to make a choice and a decision and spend their own money.
Right.
For you.
For me.
A teacher.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, sometimes I think we feel like we're so disconnected with our students and our parents nowadays. But, yeah, there's hope.
Yeah.
There's hope.
There's hope. So I did feel, even from past students, they walked down the hall like, oh, miss, it's your birthday. And, so it wasn't even just the kiddos I have this year.
We also had another birthday on campus, and this particular teacher walked in with her tiara and her sash.
It wasn't me, guys.
It wasn't me. It wasn't Renee.
I couldn't find mine. Or else I would have been the other teacher that did that.
And I said, you know what? Who else is going to celebrate you but you?
Hey, that's what I said last time.
So I get Renee Vember. Is that right?
Renee Vember,
excuse me. So I get it.
Yeah.
And so I'm rethinking my birthday month.
Come on now.
I'm like, it doesn't happen till the 29th of March.
It doesn't matter.
But I'm like, you know what? I need to celebrate me.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
So now we'll figure out a name for March and Christina so it can be like a together kind of thing. Yeah.
March Tina.
Oh, that's a good one. Give me time.
Let's work it.
It'll pop in my brain.
We're going to ideate that for a while.
Yeah. So did you see about John Krasinski?
John Krasinski, the sexiest man.
The sexiest man. Jim. Jim is the sexiest man.
Jim was always a sexy man. And then he became part of the John Clancy books.
Mm-hmm.
You know, main character. Oh, talk
Yeah.
about sexy. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but I love it because the whole I don't know how big of an Office fan you are, but I am huge. But they're putting photoshopping or whatever Asian Jim onto the covers of People magazine.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love this.
This is hilarious.
I love that
The Office would do this.
And then the fact that he's okay with being Asian Jim. Like, he still is cool with it. I mean, he went on to do other stuff. Like, he was in The Dad Fresh Off the Boat.
Yeah.
And then he was in some Marvel movies. So he actually went on, but he's like, no, I get it. People say I'm Asian Jim, and I'm okay with it. So
he's going to keep it. Yeah. So, no, definitely. Yeah. A good choice for the Sexiest Man.
I really haven't been paying attention to those lately. I don't know. Like, when I was younger, I was like, I gotta get the magazine. But now, once I've had kids, I'm like, good for them, and I keep
moving. I mean, he still looks good.
Yeah,
he does good work. He deserves it.
Yeah,
it's a good. Yeah,
good choice.
Good choice. There you go.
And then what else did I hear in the news? I'm just going off the top of my head. From Full House.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got stage 3 lymphoma.
Dave Coulier.
Yeah.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah.
He was a funny guy. But you know what makes me always think of him?
Oh.
You know where I'm going.
Alanis Morissette.
I mean, I'm thinking, theater? Really?
Yeah.
Dave?
I was like, you were that mad over Uncle Joey?
Why?
Hey.
Okay. I don't know. Hey, we all have our types.
But yeah, once that came out, years after that song, like, I look back at it now and I still listen to Jagged Little Pill, and I'm like, why did my mom allow me to listen to these
songs? Did she know we were listening to this?
Okay, so
I don't think my mom knew.
So I remember, I think I was at Griner, and I was in the Academy for Band, and that's when alternative rock was starting to come out, and my band friends were talking about Red Hot Chili Peppers. And so I was like, oh, I like this one song, and they're like, well, it's on their album Blood Sugar Sex Magic, and I was like, I don't know if my mom, I'm like 12, like, I don't know if my mom's gonna really. And the parental, that box had just come out. Remember the big hoopla in the early 90s that parents need to know what's on there, so the box had just coming out with explicit lyrics, parental, whatever. And I was just like, maybe she doesn't know what that means. My mom, she was a teacher also. She, was very in tune. She kept up with the news. Yeah. And I was like, how am I going to get away with this? And so we went to the CD or the cassette store, because CDs weren't really big at the time. So we went to the music store at Redbird Mall. Okay. And I was like, oh, I want this, and da-da-da. She was like, well, what's that box? But she didn't have her readers.
She didn't. Yeah, Mia, go ahead and get it.
And she was like, what is that box? I was like, oh, it's just part of the cover. Knowing that box stood out so bad on the cover, but all she saw was a white box. And she was like, are you sure it's not the barcode? I'm like, oh, yeah, it's the barcode.
Wow. Mom.
Yeah. So that's how I was able to listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
Wow. No, I think we just waited for the song to play, and we would press record.
Oh, really?
That's
so
what
you never had the album?
I didn't start collecting cassettes or CDs until I was in college.
Really?
Yeah. You would join that membership.
49 cents.
That was it.
49 cents. Columbia House.
There you go. And I would just
go crazy.
I waited for that.
Oh, okay.
I as kids we couldn't really. My mom didn't take us anywhere, but our mentors did. But they weren't going to allow us to buy things like that. Yeah. So, and our mentors were educators as well. So it was like, no, we couldn't. We just had to record it. Whatever song we wanted.
Well, so you've never listened to the whole Jagged Little Pill?
Probably not. No.
So you've never heard the secret song?
No, there's a secret song.
There is
There's more?
There's more.
There's more than the movie theater?
Yeah. I mean, I love that whole album. Just I would listen to repeat. But there's a secret song. Like, you go to the very last song let the song play. I don't know if you remember these, but I remember a lot of albums in the '90s had that secret where you let the last song play, and then like minute 8, a new song came on.
Wow.
Yeah, and
No.
so it's on Spotify.
Oh, no,
So
it's
if you
on
go Jagged Little
Just
Pill on
listen to
Spotify,
it.
go you can fast forward the
Oh.
song now, right?
Like, do I have to buy the whole album?
No, you don't have to get the whole album. You
Got
just
it.
go to the last song and like go to like 8 minute, and you'll hear the secret song. And
Wow.
I had never had a relationship before, but I felt her in that song. Like you just like you hurt like she hurt, and I'm like, if that's Uncle Joey too, like with that, like seriously.
Well, now I need to listen. Like, let me see, where did they all fall under?
I was like, I feel you. Yet I've never had a boyfriend, but
I mean,
I
you're 12.
feel what
You're
12.
Listening. All right, Alanis.
Yeah.
Getting us in trouble at age 50 and 45, is that right?
Yeah.
Because you're still 45.
I am 45. For a whole year, I'll be 45.
There you go. So, yeah?
That's the only thing.
That's all that came to mind?
That's all that came to mind.
Where am I? Oh, I had a interesting talk with a parent on Friday. And this parent, I'm usually outside greeting kids as they're coming in. And I had a parent who was in the car for a while with her kiddos.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see her head moving, and she
was mad.
She was upset. She was shaking the car, right, with her gestures. And the kids would come out, and I'm like, "What's going on? I'm gonna let her wait. I'm gonna just give her some time." I usually when I notice cars just sitting there, I usually just wave them, "Hey, y'all gotta keep going."
Yeah.
And I let her. She was having some moments with her kiddos, and I had a teacher come up to me. She goes, "Is she talking to y'all?" And I was like, "No, ma'am. She's talking to someone who's still in that car." And sure enough, the kids finally came out. They didn't look too happy, and I let them in. They went through the metal detectors, all that good stuff. And then, I kind of wave at mom, like, "Hey, try to have a good day."
Yeah.
And she rolls down her windows. "I just gave them the third degree." She did. She really did give them the third degree. And then she not only that, she gets out the car.
Oh, geez.
And then she comes. And I'm thinking, oh, get ready.
Yeah.
Just get ready.
Here it comes.
It's coming. She's about to tell you off, too.
Because parents won't get out of the car.
Yeah, they don't get out of the car for no reason. I'm thinking, oh, she's going to let me have it.
Yeah.
For maybe something that we've done on campus or haven't done. Because really, that's all we hear.
Yeah.
And it was the opposite.
Oh, really?
The opposite of what I was expecting. She's telling me, "Hey, whatever you're doing, keep doing it." My kids, they think they deserve things when in fact they just need food, shelter, clothing, and school. And I was like, "Thank you. I can't. You just made my day." I go, "You just made my day. Nothing else is going to matter," because we as educators hardly hear that. And it was just kind of like a release of tension.
We're doing something right.
That we're doing something right, because she was just like, I'd let them have it. They need to understand that when adults tell you she had just gotten 4 phone calls the day before, how dare they, she's at work, So she was just letting me know. She goes, for them to be disrupting you as the educator, there's the problem. And I'm like, oh my God, parents need to hear this. Not a lot of parents. And again, we usually feel like no one's on our side.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes I don't even feel like I need to make phone calls, because the parents are going to take the kid's side anyway.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, no matter how hard, it was just, all I'm saying is that it was just a sigh of relief.
Of appreciation.
To hear a parent appreciate the work that we do and how their children, both of her girls, were in the wrong.
You don't hear that very often.
No, you don't. And then it's funny, because the day before, one of her daughters was trying to sneak in food from the outside. And I'm that person, those of you who know me, I'm that person that I follow instructions to the T. If you tell me don't let them in with food from the outside,
I'm not letting them in with food from the outside.
There you go. And so I saw a smoothie being snuck in a backpack.
Right.
So you have to be really careful trying to sneak in, a smoothie in your backpack. And I just picked it up and I just tossed it into trash. Her daughter starts to scream at me, and I'm like, I don't have time to justify myself. Move on.
Rules are the rules.
And sure enough, I looked at mom. I'm like, well, let me tell you what happened yesterday. And I told her, and she was like, good. I'm glad you. She goes, that probably cost her $3, or so.
Yeah.
She goes, but I'm going to tell her something that she was already trying to sneak it in.
Yeah.
She wasn't trying to drink it, outside.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I would have drunk it outside. And I was like, Mom, she was going to, and I go, we're trying to curb that. We're trying to limit food from the outside, all that. Because kids can really just keep going, like, not just smoothie, but then frappuccinos.
Yeah.
And then
next thing, Tiff Treats is being delivered at my classroom
treats.
door.
Yeah, and it's not for you, for your birthday.
Wait a minute, what?
And then it's Uber Eats, and it's DoorDash, and it's like, where does it end? Everyone's just eating.
That's why when they get like Uber Eats or something or DoorDash, I make sure to put I am a teacher so that they know it's not a student. Take it to the office if I can't meet you.
It is for Miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it just felt good to have that parent support.
Yeah, because we don't hear it. We really don't hear it a lot. Yeah, we hear we're doing everything wrong.
Yeah.
We're indoctrinating the children.
Yeah, we're indoctrinating kiddos into some type of cult. No, really, bring a pencil.
That's all I want them to do.
If
you send your kid with a pencil, and if you're on a good day with a good eraser,
please,
that's all I'm
please.
asking.
I mean, I don't mind. Just with a good attitude would be nice too, please. But I get it.
Yeah.
But other than that, really, nothing crazy's happened that I needed to it's as far as politics, it scares me that the Department of Education is being it's on the chopping block for the next presidential cycle.
I know.
So that's going to be an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
But I did hear that Louisiana did give their teachers a pay hike, a pay raise.
Oh, good.
So that's a good thing. Maybe we'll start hearing some good news down the wire. I don't know. Let's cross our fingers, educators.
Yeah. That'll be nice.
It would be great, but who knows?
Well, I know that in Congress, Texas Congress, the House, they passed to where we can get both TRS and social. So now we're waiting on the Senate.
Let's go Senate.
So those of you that don't know, because we are teachers, I mean, we had jobs before we became teachers. Shoot, we've had jobs while being teachers. And because we are teachers, we are not allowed our Social Security because we feed into the teacher retirement. And so this will be so that we'll be able to get our money that we put in before, during.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I worked at Gap while I taught.
Yeah.
Just to make ends meet. And then, of course, all the ones I had as a teenager and in college and,
all of that.
So once this passed, I'm speaking into being, I'll be able to get both, and my family, should something happen to me, they would get both. Both.
Right.
So
that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great. Yeah, you're right. I mean, they consider that double dipping for us if we were to collect both. And so once you go into education, they eliminate, we can no longer,
touch our, get any social security.
Yeah, any social. And so it's like, well, we work for that.
Yeah.
Then where does it go? Not education, Department of Education, apparently. I'm kidding.
No, but I know you'd want to talk about Hearth Health.
Yeah, and I know we had a scare, and before I even mention, anything personal, I just want to share that part of my initiative and taking charge in this particular project, as far as our podcast goes, is that I'm also an ambassador for the American Heart and American Diabetes Association. I have type 2 diabetes, and I've been living with that since my triple bypass surgery. I wasn't diagnosed with type 2 until that happened, until after my surgery. And ever since then, I've been part of American Heart and American Diabetes Association, and part of my platform, you could say, is making sure that anyone out there, and really especially mujeres Latinas, because sometimes with our family backgrounds, we've always been told, whatever we say within the family house, it stays in the house. Don't share it. Don't even. But one thing that saved my life is being able to share my family's medical history. Without sharing that information, my doctors wouldn't have told me, "Hey, let's keep you overnight." 'Cause, as you've been talking about your mom and your dad and your sister and your grandmothers, let's keep you overnight. Let's run some tests, right? And they always run tests before they even mention surgery.
Mm-hmm.
But sure enough, let me tell you, after they ran two tests, which was the stress test, the one they put you on the treadmill, and then they take pictures of your heart. Um, it doesn't stop there, right? And then it goes into, well, let's go ahead and take a catheter, and that's the one where they inject the ink, and then they look at all the arteries within your heart, and then that's when the real question comes up. Hey, we need to do surgery, right? And so you need to decide right now. And I remember that day where they sat me up after the catheter, and they were like, "Hey, we need to conduct surgery tomorrow. How does that look for you?" And I was like, "Well, can I have a second opinion?" And at that moment, reality hit me with a ton of bricks, and my doctor was like, "You want a second opinion? My only opinion is that within a year you'll be dead if you don't have the surgery." And so when he said that, I was like, "Let's have surgery. When is it?" He goes, "Tomorrow morning," and we did it. So uh, if we don't share our full family medical history with our doctors, with our providers, then we don't know how long we have. Right? It's our time here really starts shortening up, and it's really up to us to take those initiatives with our own health, or our heart health, and start making some moves and start making some changes. Little ones, little bits, slow and steady. Right? That sets the tone. And I just wanted to share that. That's cool. Renee, I don't know if you wanted to share anything.
Yeah, so my husband called this week and he was like, "I'm having chest pains," and like, just, he gave me a scare. He just gave me a scare. Yeah. And we found out, we did the urgent care and everything, and we found out it was gas. Mm. You know, the doctor said sometimes it'll get so big and get into your heart. But that he still needed to see a cardiologist. Yep. Just because history, his father, and he shared. Unwillingly, but I was like, "No, you're." I think I shared for you. Yeah. But all he heard was like, "It's gas," and I was like, "No, we're doing selective hearing." Like, yes, that is what he said. That is correct. That is what he said in conjunction with. Yeah. But I think that just as Mexicanos, Latinos, we all suffer, because even my dad's side of the family, yeah, my uncles have passed away of heart attacks and stuff like that, and we do need to do our whole history. You do need to give your whole history, because I know I haven't. Forgive me, I haven't gone to the doctor, but I know I'm diabetic. Just because you know the symptoms. I saw the symptoms with my mom. She was diabetic. My dad's diabetic, so I'm diabetic. Yeah, you know what I mean? And we try to eat our best, but it's so expensive to eat good. Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. The salads are expensive over. Well, meat's getting up there too, but it's just cheaper to, especially with so many of us. It's just easier to just grab something real quick, throw it some hamburger helper and call it a day, which we know that is so not healthy. Or pick up some ramen, which is even worse, but to eat like the lean meat instead of the regular meat, that's like a $5 difference per. I mean, you have to be cost conscious. I mean, yeah. I agree with you. It takes a lot of, like, I don't want to say discipline, but it takes a lot of knowing what's what. No, it is. It's a lifestyle change. Yeah. It's not a diet. It's not a fad. Your whole lifestyle has to change. Yeah. Because for those of us, if you don't know, and I'm sure some of your family members are diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes, you do rely on insulin to help you process the sugars and all the good stuff that we all love to eat, right?
And but for type 2, which is I am a type 2 diabetic, that is actually reversible. That is something that, yes, diet and daily at 3 times a week. I start walking fast throughout the halls. I go up the stairs real fast. And, if you could do that for, 20 minutes for 3 times a week, you're doing something just to check your heart, right? Just to say, you know what? I got it pumping. I got it working. Let's give me. But type 2 is reversible. So I'm gonna encourage you, Renee. Just go get your numbers.
Yeah.
Find out what your base is, and then try to work it from there. Because I would hate to know that you're a type 1 walking around
Right.
and not
Doing what I need to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And when my mom was a teacher, they had the good insurance.
Mm-hmm.
We had the good insurance.
And I'm glad
that
you're
makes a
talking about
difference.
that.
Because once they found out she was diabetic, they sent her to a class, and they needed someone else from the family to go with them to the class to, because they said, sometimes she might go and, not due to diabetes, she might not make the right decisions or whatever, just because it does mess with your mind. And so my mom took me, and they broke it down on how to eat and how to make things work and what bread to buy, not bread to buy. And so I'm just like, I have this information in my brain. It's just, I'm not using it because it was 2 days of classes that I had to go with her.
Oh.
So it wasn't just like a night course for an hour. No, it was just like 2 days to make sure that you have this down before you go to the grocery store.
They don't offer classes like that anymore. No.
Because being healthy doesn't make money.
No. The consumerism here kicks in.
Yeah. And, that's what I've always said about cancer, because that's what my mom passed away from. Like, we ain't got a cure by now, people. Come on. You serious?
Uh-huh.
We can cure other things. Or hold off other things for years and years and years. Magic Johnson's still walking around.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's an interesting point.
But
yeah,
cancer, we can't figure out
it's still a mystery, apparently.
Yeah.
But no, I just feel like that was something that was,
You're right. We don't like to as Latinos, we don't like to talk about this stuff.
No.
It's brushed under the rug. Estoy bien. No. Ya no me siente mal. Yeah. My dad, he's like, I need a banana, or I need this. And I was just like, why? He's like, mi azúcar. I can see está bajando. And I'm just like, and you're eating a cookie. Like, it's just like, come on. But I think that's why so many of us have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, because we just feel like we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Ponte Vicks. We'll be fine.
Vicks can help.
Vicks cures all.
But can't cure everything. No, I mean, and then there's all this medication, and it's expensive. And trust me, I've tried being on all my meds, and then I've tried holistic things, right? Because it's like, I really don't want to be, I'm one of those readers that I look at all the side effects, and I'm like, do I really want to end up with a flesh-eating disease? When I read things like that, I'm like, okay, what's the alternative?
Yeah.
What else could I do? And, then I start reading it, and so then I start doing that, and then it's like, okay, I know I need to go back in. It's that time of year, go get my blood work again, and see where I'm at, because if the alternative hasn't been working, I need to do something else. So it's a balance. It is a balance, but you can't balance if you don't know what your numbers are. And
right.
So I'm gonna be one of those, get your numbers. Hashtag get your numbers. Hashtag slow and steady. No, that was my big hashtag slow and steady when I first started getting into this heart health kick. But that really helped, and that's always in my mind, like when I'm making some choices, when I'm ordering something online, and I know I'm guilty of sometimes eating something sweet, but I negotiate in my own head, like, okay, this is probably worth 17 grams of sugar. That means tomorrow I'll just, let me flush it out with some nice green tea, trust me, I do all that. I'm guilty of it. I am not like this devout, calorie counting, sugar counting. I was at the very beginning. I even had a nice fancy app to help me. Even if I were to go to Taco Bell, I knew which taco to grab that had less carbs and less sugars, because everything does have sugar.
Yeah.
You cannot escape it. If it's not organic, if it's not, it's gonna have some type of sugar.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned bananas. Bananas have 17 grams of sugar.
They are very high in
So
sugar.
for a diabetic, a banana, you can eat,
I
you
know.
can eat maybe half of it. You can have
Yeah.
piece of it, two slices. However you have your bananas, but keep that at, just
Yeah.
counting those sugars. It definitely helps me
Yeah.
just feel good throughout
Well, I
the
will
day.
say he will just have half.
Yes,
when he's
good.
feeling,
Yeah.
He'll always offer the other half to the
kiddos.
To the kiddos.
There you go. They need to share.
Yeah. Or I do get on to him. What are you eating?
Why are you having that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same way with my loved ones here. He mentioned the other day, I know you consider me the sugarholic, and I just stared at him. I love you with loving eyes. Like, no, I don't.
You should have been like, I
think
love
you
your
are.
self-awareness.
I should have said that. I would have gotten a different look after that.
But it's a positive thing, because a lot of people nowadays are not self-aware.
Well, you know how last week he made us brownies. Yeah. We did not eat the brownies. I gave them to Diego. We let my son have them. He made a brownie batch this week too.
Oh, really?
You know what? I don't know if the sugar, the anti-sugar God was listening to me, but they didn't come out the way he likes them. And I don't know. I didn't do anything to the oven. I didn't sabotage anything.
When stuff like that happens at my house, or like Ethan will say something and the lights will flicker or whatever, he's like, sorry, Terry. Terry's my mom's name. Sorry, Terry. I'm just kidding.
Or put it away.
Or if I think he's being a little too mean to the kids, and then the light will flicker, he's like, y'all do whatever you want. Your Lela said it's okay. She got you.
There you go.
It. He's like, even in the afterlife, she's coming after me.
No, I usually do too. I feel her around too.
Oh yeah.
All the time. My mother was a fan of red roses. I sometimes just smell them. I'm like, oh, my mom's here. And I mean, I don't freak out. I just like, oh, sense of warm presence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good.
But no, he takes it the opposite.
He's like, I'm good. Hands up.
Yeah. One time, it was funny because we had a picture of her on the wall, and we were just standing there, and then the next thing you know, the picture just fell off the wall, and he was just like, all right, I'm going to the other room. Apparently, I said something she didn't like, and I'm going. I'm out of here, guys.
Hey, Terry, when you need to make a point, you make it.
She lets people know she's around. My dad will say something too. I was like, well, you did something to piss Mom off, apparently, because
she's mad at you.
Yeah.
So, it really got me thinking about my family this week, and I did get to see my family for one of my niece's baby shower last Saturday, and and that's when my baby brother told me, yes, he's also diabetic. So the only 3 kiddos from my mom's family who are still alive, we're all diabetic. And so again, and of course he knew he needed to change his lifestyle, his eating habits. And I even mentioned it to him, Edward, you look thinner. And he goes, I have to, of course, because now that we're all diabetic, and what we know of diabetes is that it affects your heart, right? And then you just never know that it was diabetes that actually caused the heart anxiety, heart attack, heart episode, which is what I was considered. I was under a heart episode. It wasn't a full heart attack. And so when we have coworkers who can't make it from the first floor to the second floor, and they're totally out of breath, I love to share my story with them, and I always tell them, hey, get your numbers. Just get your numbers. If anything, talk to your doctor, share with your doctor your family medical history, and hashtag get your numbers.
I am not one of those coworkers. I can make it up to the second floor. I can even make it up to halfway of the third floor. It's that last.
Is that last flight?
Little
I
flight
know.
that kills me every time.
Yeah.
So I can do 1.5. It's 1.5, right? I can do 1.5 without being winded,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just stand there and look at that last little bit of steps. I was like, I can do this.
You can do this. Move it. Yeah, and I usually have to
slow and steady.
Slow and steady, sister. Slow and steady. Let's get it done.
Well, that's 35.
Man, that went by fast.
I know.
This is good.
I know.
See?
Excited.
All right.
So in the comments, let us know. Let us know if you agree with Sexiest Man Alive.
Oh, yeah.
The gym.
Let's go back to that.
Yeah. Let's get something a little happier. We're moving on.
As we close out.
We're sweeping this under the rug and going back to the beginning. Well, yeah. And how your day's going and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining our Facebook page. We'll have an Instagram page up soon.
I promise.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much. Y'all have a good weekend. Good week.
Till then.
All right. Bye, guys.